refuse to lose. I'm built to win. Apply myself. I filled it in. No time for the doubt. They counted me out. I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss.
Pacers were going to make the playoffs. It didn't end so well for you, brother.
If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we live in different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool.
You fell asleep at the trade deadline when we had a trade to get Kyle Lowry out of here.
They told me I couldn't do it. They told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie. I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me keep on running. Toes they gonna take it.
This is what we got to tell.
Every fan doing this.
I filled it in. No time for the doubt. They counted me out. I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss. I pay for the cost. I'm winning to win. Yeah. Refuse to lose. I'm built to win. Apply myself. I filled it in. No time for the doubt. They counted me out. I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss. I'm paying the cost. I'm in it to win. Yeah. Refuse.
What's going on? Yeah, we can hear you. What's going on, Marky Mark?
That's loud. That's loud.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Refuse to Lose Sports. I am your host, Davey Dollars. I am the only one from the regular show that is on today. You know, today is Halloween, so Tomo and Joe are out, having family time. So make sure that the kids are having fun and they're safe. So happy Halloween to everybody who celebrates the holiday. If not, just have a happy Tuesday. We got a lot to talk about today. It's some huge things that happened today in the NBA and in the NFL. So we got to touch also all topics. But before we get started, I got CTC's own Carl on the show with us today, and we got the Commanders, one of the Commanders fans, Marky Mark. So what's going on, fellas? How y'all doing today?
Hey, I'm good, man. Happy Halloween. I may or may not be eating some of the candy my mom bought for the kids, but hey, y'all know the slogan. Can't say that though, because it's an explicit word with it. But blank them kids.
There you go. Mark, what's going on with you, my guy?
Going on, everything good. Just I'm ready.
Hey, I'm ready too. I'm ready to talk about these topics. We are streaming live right now on 3 platforms: on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. I know it says X on the app, but for right now, StreamYard still recognizes it as Twitter, so we're gonna say Twitter for right now. If you're on Twitter, make sure you like this, repost it, and then share it so someone else can see this. Same thing on for Facebook, like it, share it. If you're on YouTube, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, so you get notifications. Hit that bell so you get notifications whenever one of the shows go live. Shout out to Carl, man. He didn't had a members only episode already today at 5:00, and then did his own show, CTC. So let's go. Oh, sorry, Joe. All right. So to clarify, Joe is at a church event. He's not trick or treat. So, but I'm ready to talk about these topics, man. So,
hold on. Hey, PSA, kids out there, check y'all candy. Hey, look, I joke with my mom, like, hey, do I gotta check this? Hey, check y'all candy though.
Yeah, definitely make sure you check your candy and be safe. It's Halloween, it's nighttime. We know a lot of things happen on Halloween, so let's just hope and pray that everything happens safely today. But I can't start the show without saying, turn me up.
Turn me up, 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 up.
Man, it's Tuesday. Let's get it. We got some topics to talk about, and let's go ahead and get started. So, in the NBA, there was a lot of talks in the offseason about James Harden possibly going back to Houston. He was thinking about going to the Clippers. There's some things that they weren't trying to give up. 76ers wanted Terrence Mann. Clippers wasn't trying to budge. And then ultimately, the trade was actually happened today, which is crazy because this is the NFL trade line day. So it's like the NBA was like, look, we need to get some news in there a little bit too. So I feel like it's a little funny that happened. But just to give the full details, the Clippers traded Marcus Morris, Robert Covington, Nicholas Batum, KJ Martin, a 2026 and 2028 first rounders, 2 second rounders and a pick swap to the 76ers for James Harden and PJ Tucker. Um, Big splash trade, but we got to figure out who actually won this trade. So, Carl, I'm gonna go to you first. Um, who do you think won this trade?
Philly. I think Philly wins this trade. They got rid of a guy they didn't want. They offloaded a big contract that the guy that they didn't want had. Yeah, they lost defense with PJ Tucker, but you gained Nicholas Batum, who I think I know he's older, he's up there in age, but I still think he's a solid defender. You gain a mid range threat with Marcus Morris. I can't remember who else they got. You just said it, but you gained the picks.
Robert Covington and KJ Martin.
Robert Covington for sure, a defensive guy. Philly, he was already with Philly before. I think he originally came from Philly. Like, I think that's where he started his career. Can't remember between them on the Rockets, but I think it was there. So you pick up defensive pieces. You get rid of a guy you really didn't want. You already won 2 games without Harden, and Maxey looks like he's good enough to step in that role. So I think the 76ers clearly won here. That's really all I got to say about that.
Marky Mark?
Man, well, I agree. I do believe the 76ers won the trade, but it's not like it was like a bad, release, because I think the Clippers got some solid. I mean, they did gain James Harden, and pending physical, yes, he did. He does look good still. He can still play. So, I mean, him and PJ Tucker going over to the Clippers with already Russell Westbrook and Paul George and Kawhi. So they got a veteran team. So they, plan on making a deep push in the playoffs, long as everybody stays healthy. So, I mean, but I do think the 76ers want to trade because they are in the East, and they are one of the beasts in the East. And they unloaded somebody, like Carl said, that had a big contract. So, I mean, and then B get to, be free now. So it's over. It's finally over. You ain't got to worry about anything else. So, yeah, I do think 76ers won this because I feel like that move right there made them more important in the East versus what the Clippers did to make them more important in the West. So,
Dave, before you go, can I say one more thing? And J-Mo touched on this, I believe, I think it was last week. It solidifies the fact that Tobias Harris will be the 3rd option and not the 4th option, and Tobias Harris will be way more effective in that role. So,
yeah, I think this was this was the second time that Tobias Harris was pretty much the 4th option, because he was also the 4th option when Jimmy Butler was there, because it was Jimmy Butler, Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid, and Tobias Harris. But now he's actually back into the 3rd option role, so it does help out with him. He'll be able to focus more on scoring and other things that help out with the 76ers. But I definitely agree. I also believe that the 76ers won this trade. Now I will say that this does sort of help the Clippers as well, because you gain another defensive guy in PJ Tucker. PJ Tucker is definitely going to make sure he hustles a lot. He's going to play great defense no matter what. But the only thing is, now you have 3 players of your team that are hurt very often. And what is that really going to do? And what James Harden are you going to get? Yes, he said he was excited to be there, but he was excited to be in Houston. And we saw how that went out. He was excited to be in Brooklyn, and we saw how that worked out. He was excited to be in Philly, and now he's with the Clippers. Now, if they do start Russell Westbrook, James Harden, and they start, of course, along with Kawhi and PG, that'll be the first time in NBA history that California-born players all play on the same team and start. So that will be some history there for the Clippers. But overall, I don't think this necessarily really moves the needle for the Clippers, because yes, they gained somebody that who was a 10-time All-Star. He's a former MVP. We know what he can do as far as offense, but now we got to see what happens when he plays off the ball. If how effective is Russell Westbrook going to be now that he pretty much moves into the 4th option instead of the 3rd option? How healthy is this? How healthy are they going to be throughout the season? I think that's the biggest thing for me. Kawhi has played every game so far. Paul George is still what he is. Russ has played. He's done his best to play as hard. We know he's going to play 110% every single game. But are we going to see that out of James Harden? And we know that that has not been the case throughout his career. I think the last time he really gave his full effort that we saw, especially on both sides of the ball, was when he was with OKC. Now he's played defense a few times, and you see that he hustles at times, but it's not consistent. And last time we seen James Harden, he pretty much did not play well in the playoffs. He had 2 really good games, and then that was pretty much it for the rest of the season. And then we saw the drama that was going on in the offseason where he called Daryl Moore a liar and everything. So it was creating it was a toxic relationship, and it was creating toxicity around the team. So it's good that he's gone. It alleviates everything from everybody. And now James Harden can focus on basketball, and the same thing for the 76ers. And I like the fact that Tyrese Maxey now, even though he was already starting without Harden being there, he doesn't have to worry about James Harden being in the building. And he's full-fledged the starter. He's the point guard for the future. So I like what that happens with them. And like Carl said, you lose defense, but you gain defense also with Robert Covington, who we all know he's one of the best wing defenders in the league. And then you got Nicholas Batum, who will help out, and Marcus Morris is also another guy that's going to play some defense as well. So I think it's a win-win, but I would more so give the edge to the 76ers.
Yeah, my thing with James Harden is, you're forcing yourself to the Clippers, but I don't know, like, what is he going to do? Like, I don't see James Harden as a slasher. I don't see James Harden as a guy that's going to use screens to get open and catch and shoot threes or get the ball on the wing and not slow down the pace of the offense. I have a tough time seeing how James Harden fits. Like, you have guys like Paul George. You have guys like Kawhi. Russ is going to try to facilitate the rock. I don't know if you bring a Harden off the bench because of his contract. I personally just can't see the fit there.
I mean, that just means somebody on the team got to just, I guess, humble themselves, because all 5 of them aren't going to start. So I mean,
more than likely that's going to be Russ. Russ is, to me, it seems like it'll be Russ. I'm not sure if they. I don't think they traded all of that for Harden to put him on the bench.
And to me, that's the thing. I don't see the fit, because he's just going to be in the same situation in Philly. And we've seen in Philly, like, he'll have a couple good games here and there, but that's not enough for the amount of money you make. I personally don't see the fit. I don't see why he was such, I want to go to the Clippers, and the Clippers actually made the move. But hey, we'll find out.
No, we'll see. We'll see. Definitely something to pay more close attention to. But now we got to hit the NFL.
Go down, another all-star step up. So
yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Like we said, the Clippers got who they wanted. I guess they wanted James Harden. James Harden wanted to go there, and now they got their wish. So let's see how it works out for them. Now we got to head to Washington.
Oh God!
Trade deadline approaches, and there's speculation that maybe Antonio Gibson might be traded. There were teams calling for Cam Curl. Didn't happen. But there were 2 defensive linemen that were talked about for the last few days now. And we actually had an episode yesterday talking about the Commanders, seeing what was going to happen with the team. We see that, Montez Sweat was being talked about in trades, and so was Chase Young. First trade that happened was Montez Sweat get traded for a 2nd-round pick to the Chicago Bears. Chicago Bears have their own cornerback who, did not reach a contract. He requested a trade today, like around 12 p.m. So he had about 4 hours to be able to find a team, and he's still in Chicago, so he didn't go anywhere. And I'm talking about Jalen Johnson. He was the 2027 round pick, and we all know how good he's been all season long. We didn't know before. Carl did. He called it out before. So, but he brought light into it, and we actually see exactly where he was going. And he was a hot commodity, but nothing actually happened. Then Chase Young gets traded to the San Francisco 49ers for a 3rd-round pick, which was basically like a comp pick. To me, it seems like the Commanders are pretty much starting all over. I could be wrong, but we actually have a Commanders fan on the show, so we're going to hear from him first. So, Mark, what are your thoughts? You got 2 of your best defensive linemen now gone. What's going through your head right now, man?
I mean, so Josh Harris don't owe the current players or coaches or anybody anything. So if he wanted to go clean house, he could go clean house. But what they did was traded two DNs, which it's going to be two big contracts, $1 million in cap space next season. So we're like the third or fourth largest cap space next season, and we got 9 picks in the draft for that. So I mean, if we was cleaning house, I'm pretty sure we would have got rid of more players. Like even Terry probably would have got rid of a lot of players if we was really cleaning house. So I don't believe we're cleaning house. I do think Ron Rivera, if we keep losing, he will be fired in the next coming weeks. And Eric Bieniemy gonna step up as head coach, interim head coach. But like I understand the move because these guys don't owe Josh. Josh Harris that's not his people. The new ownership, you see what's going on, and just start over on the DN side. We still got two great interior two interior linemen with Deron Payne and Jonathan Allen. So yes, we did lose 2 big tight ends. First round draft picks, but we still have Casey Toohill. He's actually playing well once he gets his snaps, and we still got Andre Jones, who drafted from Clemson, I believe. And I don't know. I'm sorry. Yeah, and then we got KJ Henry still. So I'm not really. Is it KJ Henry? I believe it is KJ Henry. It's DN. So I'm not thinking we clean the house. I don't think we're gonna tank or anything like that. We still gonna be competitive. Still gonna try to win. So that's how I feel about it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll pretty much give my thoughts on it just strictly from the 49ers point of view because 49ers is my team. For all who don't know, that is my favorite team. We didn't give up a lot for Chase Young, who was a former first round pick. It was a third rounder. We have plenty of compensatory picks that we've gotten because of things that happened, along with Mike McDaniels, who became a head coach, Robert Saleh, who became a head coach, and then just recently D'Amico Ryans, who became a head coach with the team that he actually played for, the Houston Texans. So because those guys got head coaching opportunities, we were compensated for that, and that helped us get a lot of picks that we needed. We even got a 4th round pick from Dallas because we traded away Trey Lance. So all these things continue to happen for us. And then with Mike McGlinchey going to the Broncos, we got a compensatory pick for that as well. So it wasn't like a high second or first round pick that we gave up for him. So I feel like it was a good spot. And this is something that we need help in. I believe we were only getting like 38% of pressures all season, which is not really good in the NFL. Chase Young is actually one of the highest defensive linemen with pressures this season. Him and Nick Bosa. So now you pair both of them, which pretty much helps out. And now you got Chase Young, Nick Bosa, you got Javon Hargrave and Eric Armstead in the defensive line, along with Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw. So this should help out. There was a deal made that was agreed to with Adoree Jackson, but that didn't fall through. But I feel like it was a win-win for both teams because, like you said, Mark, it created cap space for you guys. You don't have to worry about giving somebody big contracts. And the thing for the 49ers is even if he does not resign, it doesn't hurt us because we didn't give up a lot for him. And we pretty much still have good cash space if we decide to give him a contract because we have $25 million in cash space right now. So if we want to give him a contract, we could. But I also don't believe that you guys are tanking either. But I want to see exactly how the defense plays now with 2 of your best defenders gone. Carl?
All right. So my thoughts on the trade, Commanders. I thought y'all would keep one because I know both of them were looking to get paid, but I figured you pay one and let one get something for one. And when I saw Sweat was gone for a 2nd round pick, I honestly thought Chase Young was staying. One, he's the hometown guy. I saw somewhere somebody says your most marketable player. I think he's 2nd behind Terry. Again, huge in the community, being from here, going to DeMatha. So I thought for sure he was staying once I seen Sweat was gone for a 2nd. honestly was a shocker. Now the 49ers on the 49ers, in my opinion, got away with a finesse.
Oh my
They
God.
trade Chase Young. They get a third. If Chase Young decides to walk in free agency, they get a third round pick back. So they basically lose nothing for trading for Chase Young. It's basically like, I don't know if y'all bet, but I said in the chats, this is like a no sweat bet of a trade. He works out, you pay him, fine, you had the money to pay him. If he works out, he wants to walk, fine, we get that third round pick back. So it's a no sweat bet trade. Honestly, I kudos to the 49ers on that. Commanders, I'm pretty sure with y'all first pick in the draft, not the first, y'all first. I'm not saying y'all gonna be first, but with y'all first pick in the draft, it's gonna be at the edge. Somebody on the edge. I said Jerry Verse in the chat, but I think Jerry Verse might be gone. I think y'all pick is gonna be too high or too low. I always screw how that works, but y'all not gonna be able to get Jerry Verse. Y'all won't pick high enough to get Jerry Verse. I don't know how they're ranking other guys. I really like Jalen Green out of James Madison. I don't know if he's able to come out yet, but already 15 and a half sacks on the year. He's a baller. But y'all are for sure drafting the edge rusher now in the first round. Forget drafting another receiver or another corner. It's for sure a DN now. So with that being said, though, it saves a lot of money, which is cool because then you can spend money elsewhere with free agents coming out next year, which is fine. It helps. It definitely helps build the team, and then you can just build another DN prospect from there. So I'm not too mad at it. You get a second and a third. Those are really valuable picks.
Yes, they are.
It is. So with the Commanders having $90 million in cap space next season, Mark, what do you expect to happen in the offseason? I know the season is still going on, but what do you expect to happen, whether y'all make the playoffs or not?
I mean, it's dependent on what's like. I know they are going to re-sign. They're going to re-sign Cam Curl. So that's one re-sign I know that's going to happen in the offseason. So I mean, I think they're going to probably get another lineman, another couple linemen. So I think that's where the money's going to go offensively. With the money, like a lot of it going to probably go to the offensive line. Once they bolster the offensive line, the offense is really taken care of. Really, they might and they probably let Antonio Gibson walk. So I don't know if they're going to re-sign him or not. And then on the defensive side, yeah, we did draft Emmanuel Forbes, maybe Del Rio. Maybe he's just put in the wrong situation most of the time. Every time they put him in, they put him on the best receiver. So it's like, throw it at the rookie, and they getting the best of him. So it's like hopefully it didn't hurt his confidence, so we don't have to draft another cornerback because they were still coming in acting for the corners that we do have. So I don't know. Maybe trade Kendall Fuller, during the offseason. So it just depends because it is new ownership. So I really don't know what to expect because they don't owe nobody on this team anything. They didn't get nobody here. So I mean, even coaching wise, they didn't choose none of the coaches. So I mean, I don't know really what to expect, but I do know this season we is going to be competitive this season still a good team in my opinion. So.
What are you expecting to happen with Ron Rivera? You think he's going to last another week, or do you?
This is last season. I know they do say they want to see it play out, but I know I didn't really, get to come on and, talk about the Eagles game or whatever, but it's like I was upset about the ref situation, but I mean, it is pivotal moments in the game where Ron Rivera could have changed the outcome by calling timeouts or, just being a better coach, his timing being better, but he's just too slow to react because everybody on the sideline, telling him to throw the flag, challenge it. So, I mean, I can't point out one or two plays and saying we lost the game because of one or two plays, even though they were pivotal, but it was still another, it's a 60-minute game. So them, 15 to 30 seconds won't even really matter. But I think he's gone if we lose to the Patriots, and he's gone probably that following week if we lose to the Patriots. But I don't think we're going to lose to the Patriots. But, yeah, if he might get fired maybe week 16, week 17, week 15. But he's definitely not going to be here next year.
Okay. Yeah, that's definitely something interesting to think about. But we have some other things that happen in the NFL today. The Eagles, traded away a couple of players. But no, that was yesterday actually. Sorry. So Eagles traded away some players yesterday. Didn't make any moves. Didn't make any moves today. They were also one of the teams, along with the Bills, Bills and 49ers, that were interested in Jalen Johnson. But like I said, that did not fall through. The Chargers actually went and got not the Chargers, but the Bills actually went and got Rasul Douglas. Am I saying his name right? I think
Rasul Douglas.
Rasul Douglas from Green Bay. So they got some DB help. And then Minnesota, who unfortunately lost their quarterback, Kirk Cousins, for the rest of the season. Kirk Cousins has never missed a game because of injury in his career, and now he's pretty much done for the rest of the season with a torn Achilles, non-contact football injury. So now, what they did was they went and traded for Josh Dobbs. Josh Dobbs was the quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals while Kyler Murray was out. And he's now it's looking like he'll be back, if not this week, next week for sure, which would be week 10. So Josh Dobbs is now, he had to rush and become week 1, become the starter with Arizona without knowing the playbook. Now he's in Minnesota and he has to pretty much do the same exact thing. So now does this help them? Is he Savior Dobbs now? Is he going to help the Vikings do what they looked like they were going to do? They beat the 49ers on Monday night. Then they went and beat the Packers. They're 4-4 now, looking like they're number 2 in the division. Look like they're doing whatever they can to fight for first place. The Lions have first place in the division right now. But I don't think it moves the needle. I don't think it helps them out. I think having Kirk Cousins gone is definitely going to miss them. Now, this is not to say that Josh Dobbs can't make plays, because we did see that he was able to make plays. I'll bring him back when he's ready. But I feel like with Justin Jefferson more likely going to come back pretty soon, that superstar receiver, that may help them out, along with Jordan Addison, who's been without a doubt the offensive rookie of the year so far this year. I believe he has 7 touchdown catches from the season so far. No other receiver has more touchdowns than him other than Tyreek Hill. So he's been balling out all season long. He's looked like he's the best wide receiver that came out of the draft right now. So I don't think it helps them out that much. I do believe he helps them continue to be competitive though. So I definitely see that happening. But I don't think it helps them be able to make a push into the playoffs. Now they still have an opportunity to be like 6 to make a wild card spot. So that's still a possibility. But as far as winning the division or trying to get any farther, I don't think that happens in Sports City, not with Kirk Cousins being in now.
Did the Vikings draft a quarterback
in the 5th round? Jaren Hall.
That's the one that's really gonna help out, honestly.
Puka Nacua was quarterback at college.
Yeah,
but he with the Rams though. He can't help them out.
No, I'm just saying.
Like Puka in the league, he was good enough to get somebody in the league.
That's true.
I'm not a fan of Jaren Hall.
Julian Edelman was a quarterback, so
I'm not a fan of Jaren Hall, by the way. I was just throwing it out there.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like they should have traded for like Taylor Heineke, but I feel like the Atlanta probably keeping him in his back pocket because they already know what's up with Ritter. But
possible. Well, I'm glad you go ahead and talking because I'm gonna go to you. What's your thoughts on Josh Dobbs to the Vikings, Mark?
I mean, well, I know I feel I ain't gonna say I feel bad for him, but at the same time, you're getting traded to be a starter at every team you go into, so you're not like a backup player in your mind. So I mean, I hope that's the positive thing about it because he was doing okay with Arizona in the situation that he was put in. Now we got to go to Minnesota and do the same thing. I know is Justin Jefferson out for this? Do you 4 more games?
Out for the season, but he out a couple more games.
Yeah.
He still got Jordan Addison. They still got some good receivers over there that he can play with. But I mean, Arizona defense was, but they still competing. So I mean, Vikings did not trade their DN like everybody thought they would. So I mean, they still gonna try to compete. They think they can do something with Josh Dobbs, and I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. Maybe he can manage a game, and manage a game enough. But it's the Vikings defense good enough to even put them in situations where all you have to do is really just manage the game You know, they running back is Madison. He's underachieving. They got rid of Dalvin Cook, so they running situation really isn't the best. I mean, they big hopefuls are the wide receivers. So Josh Dobbs got something to throw to, but it's hopefully, you know, the Vikings they compete for that second place. But I don't care because the worse they do, the better we do. We in the playoffs, wild card. So I mean that kind of helps us out a little bit too. So I mean I'm kind of it's like a Sour Patch Kid. It's good, but it's not. So
yeah. They also have one of the best tight ends in the league in TJ Hawkinson. So you want to kind of make sure you mention that as well because he definitely had a field day on Monday night. When they played against the 49ers. Him and Jordan Addison pretty much did whatever they wanted in that game. But
called that one in the chat too. Jordan Addison way before it happened. I was like, he's going off.
Yeah. I don't want to revisit that. But Carl, your thoughts?
All right, first I just want to apologize for my dog in the background. It's Halloween, so kids ring the doorbell. My dog was going crazy, so I had to leave. But man, all right. So look, I'm kind of torn about this because I'm gonna read off the schedule. Right now, the Vikings are 4-4, 7th place. If the season were to end, they would be in the wild card. But the next game, which Jaren Hall is inclined to start for this game, the Falcons, very winnable game. The Saints, winnable game, but the Saints have a defense.
Mm-hmm.
The Broncos, very winnable game. The Bears, divisional game, very winnable.
Mm-hmm.
Raiders, very winnable game.
Mm-hmm.
The Bengals, that's an L. Lions, L. Packers, very winnable game at home. And the Lions, L. So these games are winnable. Now, if Kirk Cousins was there, the probability would be higher. But Josh Dobbs has shown that he's a capable starter in this league, and he has better weapons in Minnesota than he does in Arizona. Now, I agree. No, not agree. I think that the defenses are about same Arizona and Minnesota. Arizona might have the slight edge. They have a little bit more names. Now, I like Jordan Hicks. Like Mark said, they did not trade Danielle Hunter. So that's going to help there. I like Cam Bynum, young safety out of Cal. He's starting to get into his own a little bit. I've always been a fan of Byron Murphy at corner. Mm-hmm. So they got some pieces with that Vikings defense. Their schedule, again, is not the hardest. So it is possible with the weapons like Mark mentioned, Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson, KJ Osborne, and they got Brandon Powell, who they can get an open space, make a couple guys miss. He's an explosive receiver. So I do think it's a possibility that Josh Dobbs can lead these Vikings to the playoffs. I don't think it's 100% certain, but again, nothing's NFL is 100% certain. So did I really just say anything? Not really, but yeah, I do think there is a possibility with this schedule and Josh Dobbs not being as bad. I do think it's a possibility. And to answer your question, no, I'm not at home. I'm at my mom's house.
They got good weapons over there. Even with Justin Jefferson out, they got some good weapons over there. So I mean,
yeah, and then Jefferson's coming back. He's not out for the year. So with Jefferson coming back, Jordan Addison getting the experience of stepping up, ooh, that could be dangerous.
And I wish they would have really traded for a running back. They should have traded for Derrick Henry. That would have been fire. I ain't gonna lie, that would have been fire. But I do think that the Vikings' problem isn't just the running backs themselves. I think there is some type of problem with the O-line and opening up holes as well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, with running back
I think it's a combination.
Yeah, because I even got Madison in the fantasy league, and he throwing me off.
Mm-hmm.
So I
don't see why you still got him. You should have cut him by now.
Everyone got injured, man. Like it's this IR thing is crazy. So
that's true. I mean, me and Carl know that because we, our number one running backs both got hurt for the season.
Chubb got hurt for me.
Chubb got hurt for me in our league, bro. And then James Conner's in IR. Those are my two starting running backs to start the year.
J.K. Dobbins too. He got hurt like first or second game.
That's me. That was me. J.K. Dobbins, and he got hurt the very first game. I was like, come on.
Running backs not looking too well, so had to pick up who I could. But yeah, Madison isn't.
He's stuck on my team because he got to be on my team. I got Madison.
Yeah.
But that's that. So we'll see what happens with that. Now we got to talk about teams that didn't make any moves. There were some teams that were pushing to make some things happen. I mentioned one of them already, the Eagles. We know they've been Everyone has said that they have the best GM in the league. They already made a trade for Kevin Byard, robbed the Titans back-to-back years. They went and got AJ Brown last year. They went and got Kevin Byard this year. Then they traded away a player, and they were thinking about moving one of the. I think it's Daryl Barnett. I could be saying his name wrong. But Derek Barnett. So they was doing whatever they can to get him out the door, but nothing was made today. So, Carl, what are your thoughts on teams that didn't make trades today, including your team?
My team is fine. I mean, if we went and got Jalen Johnson, I was excited, but I don't think we need to make a move. I don't think it was necessary. Now, the team I think that's going to regret not making a move, the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys are going to regret not getting a running back. I think the running back issues, the running back woes will come and bite them in the behind later in the year. Tony Pollard experiment has not been working out great. I do think Tony Pollard is a great change of pace back. I think they should have been more aggressive trying to get Derrick Henry. That's what I thought Derrick Henry should go to, the Cowboys. If they get Derrick Henry and then, bring in Tony Pollard on third downs or, passing downs, or even use Derrick Henry in screen plays and stuff like that, that would have made the Cowboys and Dak Prescott more effective and more explosive. So I think the Cowboys will be my team that I feel like are going to regret not making a move.
Okay. Mark, what are your thoughts on what's the team you feel like should have made a move?
I feel like
I know you mentioned the Vikings, but who else?
Raiders really should have made a move. The Raiders should have sacrificed Devontae Adams for another quarterback. That's what they really should have did. But I think the Raiders should have made a move. They could use some, defensive linemen, offensive linemen. Who's one of the best receivers in the league prime right now. So that right there is already hurting the NFL. They're taking away Devontae Adams prime right now. So, I mean, they should have traded him to somebody else and got some picks. They could have got some first rounds. Maybe, definitely day 1 or day 2 pick for Devontae Adams. So, I think the Raiders are a team that really should have, made some trades today or yesterday or throughout the season, because they really have a situation going on over there.
Yeah, they could have got a couple day 1 picks for Devontae Adams.
Yes, for sure. Last night he only got 1 catch for 11 yards, and it wasn't his fault.
And it's crazy because he had two. One play would have been 98 yards if he would have, not overthrown. The other play would have been a 64-yard bomb if he wouldn't have got overthrown. So
Jimmy G's.
You're wasting my man. You're wasting him. Please get him out of there.
Look at the quarterback. I'm sorry. This is not to say that Jimmy G is trash.
Chiefs should have been real aggressive with that one. So that's one of the teams.
It's in the division. I don't think they would have made that trade in division. I don't see that happening.
I don't see why not at this point.
I don't either, but I don't think they would have did that. I agree. I do believe they should have traded away Devontae Adams because they are wasting his talent. They are wasting his talent. He looked highly upset last night. But I kind of want to talk about the Eagles. I feel like they didn't really need to make any moves. I know that there were some things going on, so that maybe they should have, hurry up and do something to try to go get a corner, because that's what they were looking at. They were looking at corner and linebacker. But you went and got Kevin Byard. That helps out your secondary. Bradbury and Slay are now back healthy. I don't think you really need to make any major moves, especially with you having the best record in the NFL right now. You're looking like you and the Chiefs are favorites to go to the Super Bowl, and the Chiefs are, of course, ahead right now to win because they are the defending champions. But, you were right there with them last year in the game. So we see that happening. Then we see what A.J. Brown is doing, 6 straight games of 125 plus yards. You still got Devontae Smith. Jalen Hurts had one of his best games. I don't think he really needed to make any big moves. So there shouldn't be any complaining in Philadelphia right now. But the Raiders definitely should have made a move. I feel like Adams should have been gone for a couple first-round picks. You would have been able to offset that. Even you might have put yourself in position to get one of these quarterbacks coming out of the draft this year. So you could have did that, because Jimmy G is not going to be the answer for the future. Sorry, but not sorry. That's just pretty much that's just as obvious. You may want to think about getting another head coach as well, because I don't think Josh McDaniels is the answer. And at Vegas, we see what he did, and when he was with Denver, We saw the move he pulled against the Indianapolis Colts. He's pretty much, I believe he's better off as offensive coordinator. But hey, you paid what you paid to be able to have him as your head coach. So this is what you got to deal with.
Now, Raiders also got Max Crosby. He is a dog.
Boy, he got Ravens written all over him.
Oh my gosh, he deserved to be somewhere else. He is a dog.
He got Ravens written all over him.
He is
And
a
then
dog.
Another team I feel like no, not necessarily, but I feel like the Bengals might have missed out on the opportunity to get something for T. Higgins, especially if they may or may not be able to sign him to a contract. I feel like they could have gotten at least a second or a third round pick for him. He's still a really good wide receiver, especially when healthy. So that's really my thoughts on the offseason. Well, not the offseason, but the trade deadline going past. But I'm excited. My team made a move. We wanted to do something with getting a defensive lineman in the corner. We didn't get the corner, but we got a defensive lineman. So we gotta improve. We're in a bye week, so let's see what happens after we come back and we play the Jaguars. That is pretty much it. No quick news today. Like I said, it's Halloween, so short but really good show. Glad you guys were able to come on. So let's get these last words in. Carl, I'll go to you first.
All right. So last words: Pistons got the mess beat out of them yesterday in Oklahoma. But hey, it's gonna happen. It's the NBA. You're gonna have games where you get the mess beat out you. You're gonna have games where you beat the mess out of other people. We just came off beating the Bulls, and it was just our turn. So keep your head up, Detroit. Still 2-2. I'm excited. I gotta issue an apology to Asar Thompson. I was just so stuck on that he was coming out of OTE. I didn't like the pick. I was like, man, he was so old going against high schoolers, but he's been balling so far. He's been really good. I'm not going to really put the turnovers on him too much because we've been turnover prone as a team. So, I mean, the whole team has to fix that. We have to cut it out. Ravens, hopefully we can win 4 straight at M&T Bank Stadium. We got the Seahawks this week. Tomo's making jokes, but they still got the historic butt whooping. But got the game against the Seahawks. Going to be a bird fight again. So, got to come out on top. Let's go 7-2. And then we got the Chargers. And then hopefully we can go into the bye at 8-2. That's all I got for y'all.
Mark.
And all I'm gonna say is, Commander fans stick in there. New ownership. We got a winning ownership, so we should be. We expect winning. I mean, I ain't gonna say in the future because I'm not looking forward to next season. We can still win now. We got a quarterback that I feel like we can still do good, and the defenders is like we only lost 2 defensive ends. We still got the interior lineman. We can still compete. We're good. So we just gotta win. But let's go Wizards as well. I know we lost yesterday as well. It was a bad game. So I know I put 50 on Poole head, and he ain't deliver. Not even close.
He got 11.
Yeah. So I mean, it's gonna come back. I'm glad I ain't bet it. So I'm glad I ain't bet it.
It's a good thing you did.
It's
a good thing you did.
I think it would have been $12K though. So yeah. Thank you for having me on, though. Thank you for having me on.
Hey, it's always great to have both of you guys on. You definitely always help out. Been on Refuse to Lose family, so always great to have you guys on. For me, good job, John Lynch, making a move at the trade deadline. Now, there's no excuses for the defense to play better. You went and traded for somebody that's familiar with Nick Bosa. We see Nick Bosa just got a contract. You said you want to you wanted to help bolster the defense. You did it. So now it's all on the defense to now get some sacks. Now we got some sacks against Joe Burrow. I see that, but it didn't help us win the game. So we got to be able to make pressure and win and be able to win some close games. So let's take this bye week, get Brock pretty healthy. We see that he probably have gotten concussed again, but let's get the team healthy. Let's do what we can. Trent Williams is going to be back. Debo will be back. Let's go on a win streak. Let's win some games. Head into the playoffs. Get the division back, so we can make our way to the Super Bowl. Now for Miami, I don't really have too much to say about the Miami Heat right now, but I am glad to see that Tyler Hero is actually playing a lot better. He had another really good game in a loss last night. He had 35 points last night, but he balled out. He's been playing really good so far this season. He's not scared to go against defenders so far. So I just want to see exactly how that goes. But Jimmy got to get healthy. We haven't had a healthy team so far this season, but the season's still early. So I'm just waiting on that. And then shout out to the U who got a win Saturday. Now I want to see what happens this Saturday. So let's go out and get another dub and get ready to play FSU in a couple weeks. That's going to be a really good game. From what I know, I'm almost certain everyone's going to pick FSU to win, and deservedly so, because they've been balling out. So I mean they're top 5 team in college football right now. So I can see that. So let's see what happens with that. But other than that, that is it for us. Thank you for watching the show, and until next time, peace.
Wizards got blown out twice.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all at the next episode.